Well, the long answer is that obviously, when we looked at the business, it required some fairly radical surgery. And, we're talking about 2 years ago. And in that situation, we really looked right from the top, very top, to replace the board, get fresh non-executive directors in with the relevant experience, handpicked. And we started the transformation in the group at the board level, and then went all the way through finance, internal audit, controls, operational efficiencies, client service levels, re-engineering operations. So it was a deep transformation that was implemented in the last 24 months, and obviously that takes time. But the short answer is we're getting to the end of that, and we can certainly say that the turnaround element of the transformation of the group is completed now. I'm delighted to announce that, and of course the results, which are excellent, and show double-digit profit, doubling in the year, net cash position on the balance sheet, and a tremendous pipeline of opportunity, demonstrate that the business now, having undergone that radical surgery and rehabilitation, is now in a period of getting back to growth and is fully fit. So yeah, the short answer is the turnaround is complete. Well, this is a very good question, because obviously, being new to the Staffline Group, I was most concerned about the perception that our customers had of us. The news flow, and I don't need to go into detail here, but well publicised, that was not good from Staffline Group during the period of 2017 to 2019. And I was acutely aware of that. So my very, very first initiative was to engage with our customers, to talk to the stakeholders in particular in the government, because our People Plus business, 100% of its revenues come from the Department of Education, Ministry of Justice, and the Department for Work and Pensions. So I wanted to engage these stakeholders and understand their perspective. So that's the very first thing I did. I spoke to large supermarkets, the CFO of one particular large supermarket, and I wanted to gain an understanding of what their perception was. And I was startled at the response. There was a real affection for the group's service, for the frontline troops, the group's workers that were moving food and essential items during COVID around warehouses and in supermarkets. Real respect for the workers that we deploy, all 40,000 of them across the UK. So that was particularly satisfying. But of course, in the background was the noise of our weak balance sheet and the uncertainty surrounding the group. So I knew that that element of our story needed fixing, and it needed fixing fast. But tremendous feedback from customers. And when we went to investors, that was one of the questions they asked: is it fixable? And I said, look, I've spoken to the vast majority of our top customers, and the business is held in high regard. We just need to make sure that the balance sheet is strong, and that's indeed what we did. And so, that part of the turnaround was really important. Well, the Recruitment GB stability really is derived from the sectors that over the last 2 years that we've managed to develop and grow in. Logistics has just exploded in terms of vacancies and work and activity, because our habits have changed. COVID has changed the way we do business, the way consumers buy products and buy their household goods. Even, companies like HelloFresh are revolutionizing, the sort of traditional view we have of the weekly shop, so that it's delivered online, it's purchased online and delivered to your door. And customers like that, new customers for the group, have represented organic opportunity. So, that's how we've started to develop a real resilience in the face of adversity, that the group's top customers are highly resilient, defensive companies who provide essential services, even through the challenging times we've had during COVID. But on an operational point of view, when we first arrived at the company, the CFO, Daniel, Quint, and myself, we were sort of alarmed at the lack of information 2 or 3 years ago that was at the board's disposal. So, very little visibility. And so what we did was we've been working on making sure that leadership teams have information at their fingertips, and they have. right now, when I think of the team at Staffline GB or in Ireland or the People Plus team, the one thing that has changed dramatically is they have real information, real-time information, management information. So they're in command of the detail, and therefore, from our point of view, we feel highly confident that the numbers and the direction of travel that they're indicating and the sort of, the journey that they're signaling to us as a board, we've got high levels of confidence that that it's much more predictable now. So that's been a real sort of revolution in the board's appreciation of predictability. But the stability that we have and our resilience really comes from the sorts of customers we have: Tesco's and Ocado and Morrison's and Sainsbury's. These sorts of top customers who are essential to the running of the economy even in tough times. People Plus is a unique business. It's really highly complementary to our recruitment offering, our core recruitment offering. And what we've been able to do in the last 2 years is bring these two divisions together: recruitment and, of course, the People Plus business is mainly about getting either unemployed individuals back into work or into training. So we've brought these businesses together. So the visibility of revenue is really important in a business like People Plus. And what drives that revenue is winning successfully bids that are put out to tender by the departments. And we have, in the last 12 months, been very successful. As you know, we've secured a strong position on the Restart program, where we have 3 subcontracts totaling circa just under 90 million at the top end of performance. And so it's winning good bids that we're able to deliver on. That's the driver of revenue. But the driver of margin is slightly different, focusing on where we're strong, where our footprint is strong, where we've got good presence, and more recently, where we're bringing together our recruitment offering. We've got a unique offering in the market. We are offering unemployed people who are coming into the jobs market, seeking work. We're offering them training, but we've also got, as the market leader, the most jobs that any recruitment business in the UK has to offer for them. So we're bringing those services much closer together. That synergy will increase margins both in Staffline and in People Plus. Well, people say, well, why do you want to do this? And I always point out the attractions of the market. It's a low, it's a very competitive market, but it's not as competitive as the UK. It's a smaller market. It's about 1/10 of the size of the UK. So the Republic of Ireland is a smaller market, but it's not as competitive, and it has the opportunity for higher margins, pricing power. There's more relationships that are built in the Republic of Ireland. It's less commoditized. So it's still an attractive market for us. And as you know, we have a market leading position in the north, where we have 20% plus of the market. So in our HQ in Belfast, we've got a tremendous team run by an entrepreneur who's got an unbelievably capable leadership. And under that sort of administrative and competent leadership team, we're able to add services in the Republic. And I'm very keen that we roll out an investment program this year. We've identified 2 locations where we will make investments in headcount and fee earners. And our approach is very much a local approach, with local fee earners who have relationships locally, but with the power and the strength of the group behind them, our new strong balance sheet, our tremendous brand, and our reference sites, with such large and demanding customers, is a really compelling proposition. So I think they're going to do really, really well. Of course, this year is an investment year, and we'll get the returns in 12 months' time. But I'm super confident that this is the right strategy. Of course, if you know the Irish market, and particularly the recruitment market, you'll know it's highly uncertain at the moment. The market leader's been taken over, and where you get that sort of change, you always get uncertainty, and customers are always looking, to review their supply chains. It's opportunity for us to take market share. We only have just over 2%. In the south, whereas in the north we've got 10 times that amount, of 20+%. So we're in a really strong position to grow our market share in the Republic, and it's a key aspect of our group strategy. And one of the benefits will be obviously that it's part of the euro, so it's a hard currency. It's an area that's actually part of the broader euro zone, and so that's also a very attractive feature for us too. And of course, in 12 months' time, I'm hoping to report back on that progress and to demonstrate that the team have delivered and are hopefully in profit by 23.